Why do you want this so bad?
Because I'm 31 and I live with my mother.
With your mother,
yeah.
Right. That's not a bad point. Now, is your mom really getting on your nerves? Can you be honest with us? All right.
No,
well, let's hope to God she doesn't have a TV. Do you think one of his excuses is that he's starting a business? Do you think that's maybe one way to...
I wouldn't say it's one of his excuses. It's something he's wanted to do his whole life, and I'm behind him 100%. And I just think that he'll feel, financially secure when he has his business going, and it'll be better.
And now, do you think a surprise proposal is what's going to do it? Do you think that'll change his mind?
I hope so.
All right. Well, Cindy, I hope so too, and we're all rooting for you, and we'll see you a little later in the show. Thank you for being here. Our next couple has definitely had a rocky road to the altar. Ups, downs, breakups, and makeups. This is the story of Angela and Doug.
Maybe it's taboo to date somebody from work, but that's how Doug and I first met. It was a classic water cooler romance. We worked for one of the bigger cellular companies. I was in customer service, and he was in sales. And even though we flirted with each other, we just stayed friends. But our flirtation was short-lived. My family started up a company, and I went to work there, and Doug was the only one who gave me a going-away present. It's the most adorable and genuinely ugly present I have ever received. We refer to it as our weed baby. Even though it's not the most beautiful present I've ever received, it just reminds me of how sweet and thoughtful he is. Doug has a problem with commitment. He was jilted by a high school sweetheart who he had planned to marry, and it really broke his heart. There was some damage done, but I want Doug to know that I love him so much and that I would never, ever hurt him.
All right. Well, maybe we can turn Angela's luck around. Please welcome Angela Ware. Hello, Angela.
Hello, Pat.
Oh, you look so beautiful. How about it? Doesn't Angela look nice? I think this crowd wants you to get married tonight. How did you know that he was the one for you?
Well, when Doug and I met at work, we just became really good friends. And one day, I had a dream about him. And it was just, he took me on this picnic, and it was just so romantic. And he put his arm around me, and it was like, I just wanted him to love me.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Now, how would you explain Doug's fear of commitment?
Well, out of high school, Doug had proposed to this girl he went to high school with, and she had moved out of state to go to college. And out of state, she had found somebody else, and he had already quit his job and was ready to move down.
You know what, Angela? If he doesn't marry you, I will, damn it. Now, you broke up in January, is that right?
That is right. We did. We broke up in January because I knew that I would fall head over heels in love with him, and I didn't know if I was ready to take that step. And it's true, what they say, you don't know what you have until it's gone. And he is the one I want to be with.
Oh, well, we wish you all the luck in the world, Angela. Thank you so much for being with us. No one told me there'd be a chance I would cry. Things are getting intense. Coming up, more women lure their boyfriends to an instant wedding, and men in for the shock of their lives. Come on back.
How will our men react to their girlfriend's dramatic ultimatum? Will they get married, or will they walk away forever when Surprise Wedding returns?
To celebrate the launch of our new Everyday Kitchen collection,
Where women have brought their boyfriends to Las Vegas to put them on the spot and demand that they marry them tonight. For this bride, falling in love with Drew changed her life in more ways than one.
2.5 years ago, Drew walked into my local health food store. My eyes just popped out of my head. He was a god. But I was like 30 pounds overweight at the time and not real secure with myself. I knew that he was the one when I realized that he loved me for who I am. And I didn't have to change anything about me. We worked together and he transformed not only my body, but my life. But he always stopped short of a commitment because the painful end of his 14-year marriage has left him devastated and very afraid. And so that's what I'm scared of.
All right, a woman transformed by love. Please welcome our next hopeful bride. This is Dara Enzer. How are you?
I'm getting myself all emotional watching that. I can't
Are you?
stand
Yeah, I
it.
know. It's a little emotional. I was praying to God you were going to walk out here in a bathing suit. You'd marry you tonight if you wore that bathing suit. Was it really love at first sight for you and Drew?
Well, I don't know if it was love at first sight, but it was definitely lust at first sight for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, I saw him walk in the door, and I was like, swing!
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah.
You know, it was like my eyes just popped out of my head. Like,
Right, and this is a little learning lesson for me. I didn't know women could go swing.
yeah, well,
Apparently you did. Now, you think he's gun shy and a little leery of marriage because of his first marriage, is that right?
yes, I do. He was married for 14 years, and he's very conservative, very logical, whereas I'm the spontaneous, adventurous one. So he just
Yeah.
needs to hang on for dear life and enjoy the ride. You know?
Yeah, I think spontaneous and adventurous maybe goes without saying, Dara.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Now, but he told you he was going to marry you 2 years ago, is that right?
Yes, he did, but Drew was very focused on his work, which I admire and I respect, but I'm just tired of procrastinating, and I know that we're right for each other, we're very balanced, and
Do you think he's going to think differently about marriage tonight?
it's free. I mean, come on.
All right.
You know?
There's the right attitude. Well, you remember to tell him that when he gets out here.
I will.
We wish you all the luck in the world,
Thanks,
Dara. Thank you for
Pat.
being with
Thank
us.
you.
We appreciate it. Swing. Lisa's relationship had to overcome a lot. Her boyfriend, Patrick, not only had to prove his love to her, but also to her entire family.
We had just met. We'd only been together for about a month. We had been on one date. We went out with his friends one night to a bar, and I wasn't feeling very well, and he came over and he was so concerned. He stayed with me all night and didn't even care that his friends were like, let's go dance. And he just all of a sudden blurted out, I love you. And I was like, whoa, where did that come from? I could not believe that after a month, this boy just told me he loved me. I called my friend Lynn. I was bawling. She asked, are you crying because you think he's crazy and this is all going too fast? And I said, I think that I had fallen in love with him. Patrick's silly. He's so caring. He's very compassionate. And if I'm having a bad day or I'm not feeling well, he comes to my rescue with my favorite ice cream and a massage, and I never have to ask. We live together, but we live with my parents. We both teach school, so obviously we don't make a lot of money. He's not ready to get married until he knows he can provide for me. But I want him to know that I'm ready to be his wife and that I love him so very much. I'm so in love with him, and that I'm ready to be with him forever and ever.
All right, is he ready to be her husband? Let's say hello to Lisa Wynn. Thank you, Lisa, for being with us. Tell me about having to get your parents to accept Patrick.
Well, my parents have